back to Swallow It. I'm here with my good friend and comedian. Good friend first, comedian second, Tehran.
You don't have like a special swallow it? Like
I do, but I added.
I want to hear you do it. Like swallow it. I feel like you should have something where when you say
right when I come, people will be like, "I really wish I didn't do this."
Yeah, like swallow it. Like wow.
No, I don't have anything special.
Nothing? Oh.
No, I have an intro song, but I add that in later.
I know. But I meant
you have an intro song?
Yeah, I have.
By the way, Tehran has a podcast as well called Imperfect Gentlemen.
I do.
It's a radio show, though.
Yeah, George and I. But honestly, we care more about the podcast aspect. Not that the radio's part isn't as big. It's
but
bigger.
like no one cares about radio anymore.
Exactly. Podcasting, just being able to talk directly to the people who listen to you means a lot. It's almost as if everyone on the show, everyone who listens is also on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel that way too. So first of all, everybody, I'm wearing a bathrobe today because you're probably like, okay, bitch, we get it. You're in the kitchen. By the way, if you guys can't see this, I made sure to have gloves for Tehran, hand sanitizer, and some snacks just in case he got hungry.
I appreciate that. This is the new you. This is the, hey guys, I'm a wifey. Look, I'm a wife. Look at the strawberries. The strawberries are wifey. You know?
So is the cheese.
Before it used to be like a bag of Doritos, like,
hey, are you hungry?
Yeah. Not
Cheetos,
even, like,
Cheetos.
Yeah, Cheetos. Like, they're yours. And I'm like, hey, can I have one?
Yeah.
Now you're like, oh, hey, look.
Don't forget the cookies. I
exactly.
baked those.
The baked cookies, too.
Yeah, those I got from the fucking freezer section at Ralph's.
Was there anything left?
No, it was just cookies.
It was because, people are, apocalypse is upon.
Yeah, let's talk about that really quick. So
who knew the end of the world would be so annoying? Can we talk about that?
And not only that, we're in LA, and LA is a pretty big city, and everyone likes to go out on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Everything's shut down.
Everything.
No, you're not even allowed. Bars and restaurants are now mandated closed, so that's done. People going out. Well, here's the thing. We are in the midst of.
Wait, is your comedy? First of all, he's at Laugh Factor every Monday and Thursday.
I am. Thank you.
But are you guys?
The comedy
open?
club's closed. We were the last one that was open, and we closed as well. Laugh Factory.
So, like, what the fuck are you supposed to do?
Be homeless. So I feel like the financial toll that coronavirus is going to take is beyond any mortality rate that coronavirus like we're gonna have all these people, like we're not gonna get the coronavirus, but we're all gonna be so poor that we get all these other diseases and then die. And it's like we should have just got the coronavirus. We would have been most of us would have been
it's
fine.
not funny, we're not laughing at it. And I smoked right before this, so fuck y'all.
Sorry grandma.
Yeah.
No, and the thing is, honestly, protecting people who are older in age is obviously a priority, and people who are making those jokes, it's just they're jokes. And of course, in a time of tragedy,
and everyone's like, I don't have a personality, so I'm not gonna laugh. It's like
that's the whole point of comedy. Comedy is to fine-tune tragedy, or we'd always cry. So I understand. On the other hand, also for the people who are really sad.
You don't think it's gonna be like Italy?
I don't
where we get like our rent paid?
I don't think Italy is like Italy. I think that we're all watching other places through these TV
and it's
media.
Fake?
It's not fake, but it's hyped, right? It's a rating. I mean, you yourself, you were on a show, right? In which if you took everything out of context and edited together, you are the most exciting person in the world. I know you. I know you. You are the most boring person. You're like one of the most boring people I know. Because when people are asked, oh my God, Danielle's like one of your best friends. Isn't she exciting? I'll be like, no. No, she's actually the opposite of exciting at all times. Oh my God, she's a bitch. No, she's actually one of the kindest people I've ever met.
Thank
she's
you.
Annoyingly kind. Actually, at some points, I'm like, yo, you need to stop. You need to turn that off. Like, just shut up.
Stop being nice.
Yeah, oh my God, she lies all the time. No, unfortunately, she doesn't.
That's the one thing I don't do.
She needs to learn how to lie. Actually, maybe she wouldn't get her ass beat if she learned how to lie.
Thank you, Tehran. Thank you so much.
It's real. This isn't even on some friendship shit. This is some real.
Even though Tehran's like one of my only friends out here.
Well, you're one of the only real people out here.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Reality. Yeah. And it's not just like, oh, everyone in LA is fake. No, that's not how it works. Everyone in a certain section of LA is fake. The same way that if you go to New York, that same group of people would be in a specific section in New York.
Yeah.
Anytime you're in an extremely competitive, ambitious sector,
right,
that is basically determined based on the facade, right?
Right.
So finances, entertainment, anything in that nature, you're going to run into a lot of fake people.
Right.
But you're not going to run into a lot of fake people on the streets because that's not where it benefits you to be fake.
Right.
There's no facade. So sometimes it's one of those cases where like real recognize real, and we became immediate friends when we met. And
I actually met him through Camilla.
Yeah.
Who I evidently am not cool with anymore.
You guys aren't cool?
No.
Oh man.
Yeah. No, but I don't care if you're cool with her.
I mean, I'm super cool.
Yeah,
I'm
like
cool.
I have no problem with anyone that's like my brow girl still does Megan's.
It just
brows,
sucks
and I'm
that
like,
you guys aren't cool because it was fun. You guys are a fun crew. Like
yeah, but sometimes when you mix family with business,
business with
it's not a good mix.
Yeah, I'm not cool with George anymore either.
You're not?
No, we are.
I was like, holy shit.
I try to get rid of George all the time. He just keeps coming back. At this point, I'm abusive. I'm like,
get the fuck away from me.
I'm like, where's my sandwich, George? George, by the way, for people who don't know, Mr. George Corey is my co-host on Imperfect Gentleman, where each and every week we bring female guests to discuss a topic in which we learn how to be better men. Of course, I try to convince you guys to let us be pieces of shit, but that's me. And then George is like the sweet guy, and it's
a good dynamic.
It is. It's a fun show. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He misses you, actually.
Tell George I said hi.
I will.
I don't know why. George pissed me off one time. I haven't talked to him since.
Why? What did he do?
I don't know what it was about. But I know he pissed me off at some point. I was like, skirt. I don't even know if I follow him on Instagram anymore.
What?
Yeah.
You unfollowed George?
Either that or I muted his ass a decade ago. The motherfucker that won't pop up ever.
That's crazy.
His puppy's out of control. I love dogs. You guys know I love dogs. I just can't stand chihuahuas.
They're a little too hyper.
Yeah, it's like, calm the fuck down. Have 20 Xanax and I'll pet anyone on PETA. It's a fucking joke. We're joking.
It's sad that we even have to do that now in this climate where the world is like going to end every day, where that's how we feel, at least, right? We have to constantly correct ourselves for the people that are overly sensitive. And
everyone's overly sensitive to a degree.
And it's not saying that everyone who has emotions is overly sensitive. Right. There are people that say offensive stuff, except unfortunately those people are the people we vote into power. Like the people who are joking, we're like, hey, why would you say that? You can't say that. No, I can say that. You can just also not like it.
Right.
So just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. And this is something as a comedian I'm very aware of.
Right.
Just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. But at the same time, just because you're offensive doesn't mean you're right either. There's a fine balance.
Right. So, I feel like in this generation, especially 2020, no one's fucking right.
Everyone's wrong.
Everybody.
Everyone's wrong. We're all wrong. We're all losers. To be honest, everyone's a loser. Everyone. Listen, no matter who, the hottest girl the hottest girl,
loser.
the Rihanna who's like the baddest.
Except for Rihanna.
Rihanna's amazing. She's taken nasty diarrhea shits in her life.
But that doesn't make her a loser.
No, but that's what I'm saying. She's before. Like anytime you look, like just remember she's gone like she's that. Like every one of us are losers. Like the coolest guy has fake fought someone in the mirror before. You know what I'm saying? Or
wait. Let's talk about that really quick. What are you talking about?
Yo, every guy will look in the mirror and be like tough. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, actually, I don't know what you're saying.
In a teenage, like especially if you've had like something, you like fake fight someone. Everyone fake fights someone. Every
Tehran
guy.
did this morning when he woke up.
Not this morning, but I've probably done it this week. Like I like thought about hitting someone like, oh, what'd you say? But like everyone does stuff like that. Everyone goes to the grocery stores and when the doors open, acts like they have a mutant power, like a superhero, like open. Like everyone does loser
Tehran,
stuff.
I have
like
not
this.
done that.
Listen,
I've done a lot of shit.
I know the loser stuff you've done, so I'm
Go
just
ahead.
saying,
What have I done?
Just loser
Name
stuff.
Name one.
Let's not stalk anyone's boyfriend.
Girlfriend, you mean?
At brunch.
Girlfriend. He means girlfriend.
Yeah, girlfriend.
I would hope none of my exes have boyfriends, but I wouldn't be shocked.
The ex-boyfriend. But that's what I'm saying. Like we do. Like all
that
of
makes
us
me a
losers.
loser.
All of us are losers.
But do you think guys have finstas too?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think so too. I used to hang out with this guy a lot. It's just as a friend, and he would tell me about how his boy had a finsta, and he saw everything that this chick he was fucking was posting. I'm like, why don't you just say that you have a finsta?
Yeah, everyone, not everyone, but everyone has a loser inside them to whatever degree.
Ready to come out.
Like even Jay-Z, Drake, everyone's just done something loserish.
Like Degrassi.
Anything.
But that actually made him like quite famous.
Made him poppin', but he's done loser stuff, you know? I mean, we've all just done things that are just loserish. You know?
Yeah.
Like Drake fakes an accent. You
Wait,
know?
what do you mean?
Whenever he fakes his Jamaican accent, he's not Jamaican, but he'll fake a Jamaican accent.
I've never heard him with an accent
a lot.
ever.
And a lot of people call him a culture vulture. And I'm like, we're all faking accents. Where do you think the yo comes from? That is a programming. That is not something that's genetic. Whenever we speak a certain way and code switch out of it when we're speaking to someone else, that means we know that that's an accent. We're doing it on purpose.
Right.
Everybody does it. Everyone, whether it's yas or
yas queen,
anything we do. And it's because we're all trying to fit in and be powerful and make it and feel good and secure, because we're all kind of losers.
I mean, when you say it like that, it's pretty fucking sad.
It's not sad,
but
actually.
It's true at the end of the day, because we all are trying to make it. We're all trying to figure this shit out.
That's the thing.
At the same time, getting more than 100 likes on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. We're all like, oh, why didn't I get this many likes? Like, it's not sad if you think of it in a beautiful way, except for the ugly parts of it, right?
Right.
So it's cute to see the nerd who falls in love with a girl, and that's every guy at some point. So
yeah, I agree with that. Like
that's a cute
the
thing to
dude that's
watch.
driving around in a Lambo right now, paying for $700 worth of dinner. At one point, he was a loser in his mom or grandma's
he still
basement.
is. That's what you don't understand. The Lambo is because he's a loser. It's a gold star. Everything we do is a gold star. Look at my house, gold star. Look at my hot girlfriend, gold star. Look at my fast car, vroom, vroom, gold star.
Vroom.
Where are you going? It's a red light, Jim. Like, where are you going? Where are we going right now? Who are you racing? There's no one you're racing. You're not racing
They're
anyone.
racing themselves.
Exactly. That's the whole
I've
thing.
never been like that.
You know, but everyone has something.
I mean, but I will say the other day I caught myself, because people are like, why don't you make a TikTok? I have a TikTok. I never promote my TikTok. I don't even say anything about TikTok, because I'm like, I'm getting no views on TikTok because I'm not an 18-year-old doing dances.
Well,
and I find myself, oh my God, I'm a loser that's trying to be cool on TikTok.
But that's the thing. Everyone to some degree, even the people who are like, I don't want to be cool, that's because you're doing it because you're going against the cool. So you're doing something, you're reacting. We're all reactive in that space.
Right.
Very few people in the world are acting or taking actions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those people we create statues to. They become our Martin Luther Kings and our Malcolm X's and our Kobe's or whoever they are. Once you surpass that, I'm just doing it for me point, and hopefully that happens. But even they have loser moments, and they question themselves. Everyone does.
Everyone questions themselves. But on that note, it's so funny that you just brought up Malcolm X, because I wrote down fan questions that people wrote on my Twitter, and someone wanted me to ask you, who shot Malcolm X?
That's the thing. Don't ask me. Ask the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and ask the United States government.
Yeah.
I mean,
I giggled when I read that. I'm like, why would they want to ask you that?
I mean, honestly, it's funny, but I respect the fact that they asked you to ask me that question.
I was like,
because it's like, if someone would know, that guy would know.
Yeah. He's wearing a Oh, by the way, I never finished my story. I'm wearing a bathrobe tonight, not only because I'm in my kitchen, but also Tehran wears bathrobes 90% of the time when he goes out.
I clean up nice, by the way.
Yeah.
I clean up
He
nice.
wears cologne.
It's not that, it's like, I am comfortable.
How did this start?
Okay, so the real story of the bathrobe is, a lot of people think I wear the bathrobe for attention, and partly that's why.
Yeah.
But it's not specifically for attention the way people think. When I was taking the SATs in high school, I had the highest GPA in my school, but no one knew except for.
So you were smart.
I've always been academically
up there.
I would say academically intelligent.
Okay.
Right? So thankfully I have street smarts to back it up.
Yeah.
But a lot of the kids didn't know, because I was like cool and I was
popular.
Exactly.
Right.
And I was and I knew I was doing it on purpose, right?
Right.
So I went to take my SATs, and they had that note where it says dress comfortably. And specifically, that's one of the notes, dress comfortably. So I didn't know what to wear, and I just threw on a bathrobe, and I was like, oh, and I knew it was going to be
So this was like
funny.
a long time ago.
Exactly. And I went to take my test, and the proctor freaked out, had a conniption. Like, you can't wear that. That's inappropriate. And I'm like, what do you mean? And like, you can't wear, it's a house coat. That's for the house.
A house coat? I've never heard that before.
And I was like, what? It's a bathrobe. This isn't a bath. You need to respect this. You're inappropriately dressed. And I looked
What did this person look like?
Looked exactly the way I'm making them sound.
Okay.
Exactly the way I'm making them sound. You know exactly how this person looks like. You know what race this person is. You know everything about this person.
Yeah. I was like, what? What does he look like?
I was like, I looked at a young lady who was wearing just like a halter top and like short shorts. And I was like, so.
Is that still going?
Yeah, it is. So I looked at a young lady and I was like, you do realize like, so she's appropriately dressed. And this other guy who's wearing like literally a tank top, who at the time, a wife beater, right?
Which is not quote unquote appropriate for school.
Exactly. Not appropriate in general. It's just, you can't even use that term, right?
Oh yeah,
and shorts, and I was like, they're appropriately dressed, but because and if I took this off, I would be appropriately dressed, but because I'm wearing more clothes than necessary, I'm inappropriately dressed because someone told you that's a bathrobe. Mm-hmm. I was like, you do realize it's just a coat, right? It's just and it reminded me, and then the sub-school principal had to come over, and they finally allowed me to take the test.
I mean, as they should.
Exactly, and it reminded me of how we're all programmed. We're all literally programmed to be told what to wear, what looks good. I'm comfortable. All that Gucci and YSL and all that stuff everyone's wearing. I mean, that's great.
That's another thing. People want that stuff because they're trying to prove something.
Exactly. We're all told that's how you dress. Mm-hmm. However, if someone from today, when you look at someone who's dressed today, if you took them back 20 years, people would think they're dressed ridiculous. If you took someone from 20 years ago and took them back 100 years, people would look at them like they're aliens. Like everything is programmed.
Right.
This is just, we call it a bathrobe. Right. The same way that a bikini and female lingerie is basically the same thing, except you're told the bikini's okay.
And the lingerie is not acceptable.
And the lingerie is unacceptable. Mm-hmm. And I actually, recently you had a situation at Catch.
Yep.
Where they told you what you were wearing was unacceptable. And then I remember seeing a picture of a girl who was wearing exactly the same, not even kind of the same outfit, the exact same outfit.
Yeah.
And they were acceptable. In fact, they were wearing it and it was actually
more revealing
on them. And it's like, why do we all care so much? Why do you care so much?
It's like everyone, especially in a city like LA, and it's probably like this in New York. It's probably like this in Boston. It's probably like this in a lot of places, but no one's really talking about it, where you have to fit some type of criteria. I don't know who made up the criteria, but somebody did. And if you don't fit exactly everything on this list, you're not getting in. Nobody wants you. And I want you to go home and I want you to believe that you're a fucking loser.
Because in a world where self-doubt is profitable, self-love is an act of rebellion.
Right.
And anyone who loves himself is a bad person. Right. They're crazy. So I take this SAT test in my bathrobe and I'm just comfortable, right? I get the highest SAT score in the county. I almost get a perfect
in
score.
your bathrobe.
In my bathrobe. And then all of a sudden my school loves me, right? Because I'm this minority student with perfect grades and the highest SAT. And when I went to accept that award, I wore a bathrobe.
So now it's just like a thing.
And I just started wearing a bathrobe and I specifically was like, it's not in the school guidelines. And I wore a bathrobe. Then I went to college and I was wearing bathrobes.
Right.
And I just wore bathrobes and I would go out. You know this. I go to clubs.
Yeah, he does.
I get into places, you know, and mostly because people get to know me and they realize I'm more than just a bathrobe.
Right.
The bathrobe is what we're wearing. I love how they say the clothes make the man. You know who said that? Clothing companies did.
Right.
Clothing company made us think that we need these things. We need everything. And then I also wear my name on a lot of my things,
he does.
Right?
His shirt.
My shirt.
His hat.
Yeah, I wear my name and I was outside one of my shows and one of the girls were talking to me and then another girl came over to be on that hater tip. You were actually there that night. And
I bet I was a bitch, was I?
Yo, you're the best backup in the world. Like Danielle will always have your back. She is the ultimate ride or die, by the way.
I am.
Like,
it's like no questions need to be asked.
She can't fight, but she acts like she's ready to fight on any tip. Like she's ready. She's ready to go. So this girl came up and was like, in the mocking way, why do you wear your hat? Why are you wearing your name on everything?
I remember this.
And then she was saying that as she was wearing a brand name. And I was like, you do realize that your shirt is Ralph Lauren. That's literally the guy's name. You're wearing someone's full name. That's not even just his first name. At least this is just my first name. You're wearing someone else's full name. You're missing their social security number. Like Louis Vuitton is someone's name. Prada is someone's name.
Yeah.
Armani is simply someone's name. Mm-hmm. And when I wear stuff with my name on it, not only am I promoting myself, which I should as a small business.
And it's a good conversation starter.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I'm a small business. I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man, right? So I'm promoting my business, number one, but number two, I'm my favorite brand. I'm my favorite team. And
Yeah.
everyone should feel that way. Everyone should love themselves. I'm not saying I love me and you should hate you. I love
Right.
me and I want you to love you too.
Right.
Be aware. It doesn't mean I'm not saying I'm the best at everything. I'm saying I'm the best at being me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Period.
That's all I'm trying
That
to
is
say.
the only mindset that anyone listening or watching should have. And that's why, for instance, when we first got in here, Teron was like, I'm really proud of you, because I told him that I can't even tell you how many people were like, I knew your podcast was shit. You're shit.
I'm very proud of you.
No one's going to listen. It's going to die down. And I was like, well, just give me some time, because I'm going to save up my coin and I'm going to buy what I need to just do it out of my apartment. And fuck all of you.
Yo, good for no, but it's not even that. It's just you took the time to do all this stuff. You know how many people say they want to do something and they do nothing towards that? Then you don't want to do that. You just wish it happened. You wish there was a genie and you could rub the genie bottle and it would happen.
Right.
No, you have to take steps in whatever direction it is, and nothing happens overnight.
And there's a lot of no's.
Exactly.
So
100%.
many no's.
Way more no's.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
An unbelievable amount of no's.
And people don't ever want to hear that part. They just want to hear the yes, the overnight celebrity.
Yeah.
I remember someone telling me, oh man, can you believe what's going on? Tiffany Haddish, she's a really good friend of mine. One of the first people that really accepted me when I got into comedy. And it's like, Tiffany Haddish, that just happened overnight. And I was like, what was overnight about her working hard for 24 years before she got any fame?
Right.
What was overnight about that? What was literally, when she talks about living in her car 4 years ago or 5 years ago, she really lived in her car. Like, what was overnight about that?
Right.
There was nothing. People don't want to hear those.
People don't want to hear. They don't care about the struggle.
Yeah, they don't
at all. They don't care what Denzel Washington did before he was Denzel Washington. They don't care what Will Smith did before he was Fresh Prince. Like nobody.
Or
wants
even the struggle to get to Fresh Prince. No one realizes.
Or the behind the scenes.
Exactly how he had a whole nother.
Or
family.
how to even
he
get
went bankrupt. He got in because of Quincy Jones. He went to acting school. He created a team and then worked his way, and him and Jada planned I mean, they don't want to hear about all that.
No.
They just want to, oh, he's Will Smith. Of course he's
right.
And they want to just be ready to make fun of his failures, or just be like, Will Smith's gay. That's I know.
Yeah, that's what everyone says now. Like, if you bring up his name, they're like, oh, well, he's on the down low. I'm like, but what does that have to do with the fact that he like basically started?
If that's all it took, I live in West Hollywood. There's a lot of gay people. They'd all be superstars.
Yeah.
But that's because everyone makes fun of you until you make it. It's really,
and then they all want to be your friends.
Yeah,
like
course.
When I was on Bad Girls Club, when it first came out, it was like people that didn't even talk to me for years were hitting me up, and I'm like, no. But the thing is, between me and Gabby's like the one that's like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then me, I'm like, no,
very sweet.
Yeah, she is, but people take advantage of sweet. I've just never been that way. I'm sweet, but I'm not dumb.
No.
There's a lot of dumb people out here.
You're kind of dumb.
I'm kind of dumb.
You're kind of dumb.
I'm
Look,
super
I'm
dumb.
so sorry. You're kind of dumb. I love how
dumb.
you're trying to manifest that right
yeah,
now. But
you
the
like
truth
that though?
is,
It's working.
Gabby's just sweeter than you are.
She is, yeah.
Look, you will be a bitch and then you'll apologize. So you're not
But sometimes you
strong-willed.
have to be a bitch.
Yeah.
You have to.
I don't disagree.
Okay, well, let's just talk about Teron and his career really quick. He is a comedian. He runs Monday and Thursday nights at Laugh Factory. He also travels. He's done Improv Club, Comedy Club.
I used to travel before the coronavirus.
Yeah, now it's like, no. What are you gonna do if they tell us we have to stay in our apartment for 2 weeks?
I mean, I'm gonna stay in my apartment for 2 weeks. I mean, what am I gonna do? I don't think that it's going to get to that. I think it's more of a social responsibility for people not to gather.
But people are at Penthouse right now as we're recording this. Literally,
is Penthouse open?
Yes, wide open. People are like, everyone is there drinking and partying and on top of each other. I'm like, are you guys fucking dumb?
I don't understand. That's one place, honestly, no offense. That's
filled with Corona.
Yeah, that's one place. Like places, not even because it's just Penthouse, but just because all of those are the people who travel the most. I feel like
they're all from out of town.
This is why Mexico doesn't have it. They'll be like, why aren't people in Inglewood getting it? Because poor people don't travel. Like everyone, like, yo, in the hood, people aren't really getting Corona. You know what I'm saying?
But are they getting it in West Hollywood?
I feel like they will. I feel like...
So you think that it's about to be an issue out here in these streets?
I don't think it's going to be as big an issue as people are making it. However, I'm not also... It's not going to be no issue. It's going to be a situation where it's a contagious coronavirus, which we've had before. This is a flu. This is
swine flu, malaria,
well,
West Nile.
I mean, specifically in recent years, swine flu and bird flu. Swine flu, what?
I don't
Almost
even
5,000
remember
people
bird
died.
flu.
It's well, that's because we didn't have social media and our memories are very, very short. So we only care about what's happening now. So remember when Kobe was the worst thing that happened in 2020? You know, and now people have basically forgotten about Kobe, unfortunately.
That's so fucked up.
That's how we think. We think in nows.
Yeah.
And so coronavirus is not a joke. However, if you're being vigilant and being stupid are two different things. And on top of that, listen to experts. I'm not regurgitating my opinion.
Right.
I'm simply saying what experts are saying.
Right.
However, when people ask me, it's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Right.
People
don't get mad at other people's opinions if it's not the same as your own.
Yeah, I mean, that's how, because people don't realize, like, everyone loves free speech, but if you don't believe in the freedom of speech for those you disdain, you do not believe in freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
So I have an opinion. This is my opinion is this. However, medically, wash your hands. Try to avoid contagious situations.
Right.
However,
which could be really anything.
Yeah, vigilance and stupidity are two different things.
Yeah.
And right now we're acting very stupid.
And it's just like, we have been through worse, I feel. And this is the first time I've ever gone to Ralph's or Trader Joe's and everything was gone.
That is not true. You grew up in the East Coast. When they said a blizzard was coming, the same thing would happen.
Not to this degree.
Have you ever been in a situation where they told you a blizzard was coming?
Yeah, and my mom is a psycho.
And then the snow didn't happen. It just didn't snow. It
and
drizzled.
and
you still got off school though. But that's how I'm feeling right now a little.
But like, there's no we went to Trader Joe's, me and my roommates. There was not one single frozen thing, because you know everyone's lazy. They're like, nah, like, let's get the frozen rice. Like, I don't feel like cooking regular rice. But even at that, if you go to Ralph's, there's no regular jasmine rice left.
That's because you went to the Ralph's here in West Hollywood, and you went to everything in West Hollywood. Have you ever gone to something in Compton right now? They still have stuff. Because the truth of it is that one of the thing is hoarding is part of privilege. We have financial privilege where we can afford to do that.
You're right.
What about the people that can't afford to stock up for 3 weeks? What about them?
I know.
They just can't do it.
I know.
Right? So and I'm not just singling out these areas and saying that these are where all poor people live. I'm just using the cities that most people would be familiar with and understand that they are usually socioeconomically on the low end. That's all.
Right.
So you won't see the same problems in the Walmart in Compton as you will see at the Rite Aid in Beverly Hills. They're just going to have different problems.
Right.
It's a part of privilege. We're privileged enough to go and buy 3 weeks worth of food like it's nothing. What about that single mom that's working 2 jobs and now she can't even go to work and her kids aren't going to school?
Well,
they're not getting the meal. I mean,
that's
lot
when
of things.
The government needs to step up and do something. Because there's so many people that are out of work. Like, you're about to be out of work. Well, you are out of work because Laugh Factory is not open.
Now, I am.
And then there's people like freelance makeup artists, freelance camera people, freelance anybody.
Well, servers. It doesn't even have to go.
Yeah,
to
servers.
Servers. People.
Bank tellers. Bank telling is probably the worst fucking job on the face of the planet right now. You're touching dirty ass fucking money.
There's a lot. Flight attendants.
Ugh, yeah, one of my good friends is a flight attendant, and his boyfriend is a doctor, and he is now with him. And I said, I'll see you in a couple months. When I know you don't have the
I'm glad glad you dated up, buddy, because flight attendants actually, people don't realize this, have the job that is the most likely to get sick.
Yeah, I mean,
general,
airplanes are dirty as fuck.
You're recycling air, and they are unfortunately infectious and contaminated areas. Yeah. So the concept is, conceptually though, this is a horrible time. But it doesn't have to make for horrible people.
Yeah, and people are acting like pretty horrid. Like these videos I'm seeing, y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Fighting an old lady for one roll of toilet paper when you have 20 in your basket. It's like, you need to chill the fuck out.
A lot of different people acting a lot of different ways, and sometimes I look at it and I go, we're all so afraid of this virus, and it's like humanity's the virus.
Yeah, and like, I think that's maybe what God was trying to, like, I know and not everyone believes in God, so I shouldn't have really put God in there because it's just another whole fucking debate, but the higher power in the world is probably like, I need to teach everyone a lesson, and nobody's learning it.
And we will not learn it.
Like, not a single person except for like a few are like, yo, look how fucked up this is.
I mean, we know it's wrong, and still people are doing it. That's most of the world. And all these people were mad at all the people who are hoarding like toilet paper and hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Wait till they find out about the 1% of people who are hoarding all the wealth and power and property in the world. I mean, we just don't care about
Who
that.
have like 17 vacation homes where they can do their quarantine at. On that note, how many couples do you think are going to get quarantined if we do in fact have to stay home for 2 weeks and end up coming out single?
I think that we're not just going to end up coming out single. I think you're going to end up with a lot of quarantine babies that are unwanted because it's like
Condoms are going to run out.
Condoms running out. I mean, toilet papers are gone, but people aren't buying condoms. So
Yeah, they're all on the shelf.
yeah, they're just chilling.
All of them are
All
there.
the condoms are there.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is no one's going to quarantine. Everyone's going to cheat, right? So let's say.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Cheating meaning that we're all going to leave our houses.
But we can't because the U.S. Marshals will be outside ready to shoot our asses
They
up.
won't. That's not even how it's going to work, right? So they're not going to ever shoot a normal, average day, everyday citizen, especially over something that's this low on the medical scale of threat. Okay.
So if you're leaving to go to your boo's house, they're not going to be like, yo, man, where are you going?
No, they're going. You're going to go. Most people are going to go. It's going to be a voluntary quarantine where we all like basically promise to stay in. So what's
no one's staying in. Not a single person.
What's going to happen is this is a perfect time for all us fuckboys who we're going to be like, hey, I was going to take you out, but we can't come over. Like we're like
That's
Monday,
horrible.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. By Friday, we're going to have 8 kids. Like there are going to be 8 little kids that no one wants running around in 9 months from now. I guarantee you right now. Do you understand what's going to happen? We're at March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and January is going to be popping. Hospitals are going to be flooded with babies. Like that's what happens. How do you think we repopulate the world after?
I'm definitely not having
pandemics?
anyone over to do any of that.
You are not having anyone over. You've been on sex quarantine for 8 months now.
Yeah.
So
Almost 8. It'll be 8 on April 5th, which is like literally right around the corner.
exactly. So this hasn't changed.
So depressing. I think in times like this, I'm like, I realize how single I am.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even have one dude that's like, hey, babes, you want to like maybe fuck for the first 3 days of quarantine? Like, get your ass home. Like, I don't even have anybody disrespecting me like that.
That's so funny, but so true.
It's so true. Like, I don't have one dude being a fuckboy on my line. That's how fucking dry shit is right now.
But that's real. But you know what? Honestly, you're not the only person. I appreciate that you talk about these things because the one thing I've learned from doing Imperfect Gentlemen.
When's the last time you had sex, Tron?
You know,
it's one of the questions.
That's actually,
let's just cover it now.
That's just a question that'll never be answered. You know, maybe I've never had sex.
First of all, Tron, let's
Maybe
ask the popping question. Are
What?
you single? Are you dating? What's happening?
Well, I'm always at this point, my priority is my career.
Oh, yeah.
So
I've
I
heard
am
this
single.
speech 1,000 times.
I give that
people.
speech. That is the Tehran speech. I'm single.
So
My
any
priority
lady
is my career. That is what it is. So, and
ladies, if you're watching this and you date Tron in the future, he will be giving you that speech after the 3rd or 4th,
hang out. No, I don't even think it's cool to waste girls' times. But I came to LA to work on my career, and honestly, you know what kind of a grind it is.
Yeah,
You've
it's
watched
hard.
me
Yeah.
grind.
Mm-hmm.
I grind.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, this is one of those things where one day hopefully I'll make it and people will be like, oh my gosh, overnight. And I'll be like,
Yeah, it's
nothing
not overnight. And I'm like, I was there. I seen it.
Yeah, you've seen the crowds go from 30 to 60 to
150.
Exactly. To now just being sold out shows.
Yeah.
That was not overnight.
So have
Trust me.
you ever told a joke on stage that absolutely fucking bombed?
Yes.
Like nobody laughed.
100%. I've gotten booed before. I've told a joke that got me booed.
Can I hear the joke?
No, because it's actually now one of my best jokes. So the same joke that got booed, it's one of those things where it's like nothing happens overnight. I just remember telling a joke and everyone being like, and I had one of my cousins and a very good friend there, and someone actually booed that joke there, right? And
Not like your cousin or your friend.
No.
Oh, I was like,
and
wait.
I was like, there's something in these words that I'm saying. And I worked on it, and they came back, I think it was like 6-8 months later, and I told the same joke, except now I had worked on it, and it killed.
Like,
okay?
you mean your
Killed.
tone?
It was everything. It was the way you set up. Joke. A lot of people don't realize joke writing and songwriting are very similar.
Right.
Okay. So there's rhythms, there's beats. The only difference is when a singer goes on stage, you don't expect them to sing a new song every time they go on stage. Well, the same thing happens for comedians. We are practicing our comedy. Now, I try to come up with a lot of new material.
How often do you have to switch it? Like every 6 months, every year?
You know, some comedians have kept the same 20 minutes and made them famous for the past 10 years. That happens. It just depends, you know. Some comedians try to be as topical as possible. It depends on what you talk about.
Right.
So I try to switch it up, but I also know that there's strength in being able to practice. Practice makes perfect, and you work on your jokes until they're perfect.
I mean, I've seen people at the Laugh Factory where he resides every Monday and Thursday. Plug.
Thank you, shameless plug.
Yeah. But I mean, it's great. I've had many laughs there. Like, he just had a birthday show. It started 45 minutes late because it was absolutely, this line was insane. People were like standing up behind me, breathing down my neck because there was no seats left. I was like, okay.
And I'm glad the community shows me so much love. Like, people come out and they want to support me, and that's amazing. And I appreciate each and every one of those people.
So, okay, first of all, for anyone that doesn't know, Tehran is Black and he's Persian, half and half.
Yeah.
One of the fan questions was, how was it growing up being half Black and half Persian?
Well,
did anyone even know? Because you look full Black. Like,
I do, because you're acclimated to this is how Black people look. But
right.
You know that I'm mixed. You just don't know with what.
No, you don't look mixed.
Really?
No.
Oh, that's what's up. You know, the only time I've ever heard, oh, your light skin is from Black people, you know? That's.
But I get that too. Like,
exactly.
When I posted the video on Catch, people were like, you're not even Black enough to even have this issue. And I'm like, I think the biggest racism is Black people against light-skinned Black people. There's a lot of racism there.
And that goes back to programming, where we're programmed, unfortunately, through systematic disenfranchisement and racism, to be racist against one another.
Right.
And even racist in general. Honestly.
Like, even when you see like an Asian person drive and they suck and you're like, oh, I knew they were Asian. That right there is racism.
It is.
But people have been programmed to like pop jokes like that.
We have. And you should probably dislike someone much more because you like the Avengers and they like Batman more, or whatever it is, your likes and dislikes over anything else.
Right.
But we love to be programmed. So growing up mixed, as you know, when we were young, being mixed wasn't as common as it is now.
Yeah.
Now everyone's
It's
mixed.
super common.
Yeah, everyone's
in
mixed.
5-10 years, everyone's gonna be mixed, except for maybe the KKK, and even those motherfuckers are stepping out on the side like, yo, bitch, hey. My boys don't know, but I really like your chocolate skin.
Yo, what's up, Shaniqua? You trying to get this KKK cross good? Like,
and hopefully she just fucking murders his ass. I don't know.
The whole thing is, first of all, a lot of people love saying things like, well, everyone's going to be mixed and that's going to end racism. That doesn't actually end racism.
No.
That literally just ends race. That still means that we have that in us and then we're just covering it up, which we tend to do as humanity.
But isn't that
often.
So fucked up the way you're saying? If we end a particular race, like there's no one Asian, one Mexican, one white, and everyone continues to be racist, that is a problem.
I mean, that's how it's going to be, right? So we're just going to all look alike. And it's like, oh, well, now there's no racism. That's not how it works. So the way it should work is we love ourselves and love our neighbors. I think you're amazing because you're Asian. I think you're amazing because you're Mexican.
Right.
I think you're amazing because you're Black. I think you're amazing because you're white. Everyone brings value. So growing up mixed, there wasn't a lot of mixed people, and people could not understand that my father, who's Persian, is my father. They just couldn't comprehend that.
Right. I still want to meet Pops.
Right. And they couldn't, he's like, I have the sweetest parents. And my mom, they couldn't recognize that she was my mom. They just couldn't fathom this.
Right.
Now being mixed, fortunately, is a lot more common and people understand. And there's still problems that happen in mixed communities, because it's as if you're not Black enough to be Black and you're not other enough to be whatever other it is.
Period. Like, it's like when people tell me you're not Black and I go, okay, well, I'm white. No, you're absolutely not white. Okay, so then what the fuck am I then? Because you just took both of my cultures and told me I don't fit.
Exactly. And it's like, oh, but I need to put you in a box because that's what it is. And
because when we take SATs and we take these fucking tests, they just now started putting other. Before that, it was like you had to be
white,
in a box.
Black. Exactly. Even society just catches up, and people don't realize, like, it was literally illegal to marry someone
of another race.
of another race if you were white, especially until the 70s. That was like illegal in many states.
Which is wild.
Yeah, until the 70s. And we keep thinking of the world as if there's times, and these times are so long ago. Oh no, segregation, that's so long ago. 1954.
Which
Brown versus
really
Board of
wasn't that
Education.
long ago.
Wasn't that long ago, but also it's not like when they made the court decision, everyone complied the next day.
Yeah, like everyone was like, yes, I
different.
can finally love thy neighbor.
Yeah, that's not what happened. It took 10, some places 20
and even
years
still
to
now,
integrate.
still happening.
100%. So
like, imagine when Obama got voted president, people were fucking pissed.
there were a lot of people who were upset. And of course, even the fact that we call President Obama our first black president when he was half black, half white, and no one realizes he's as much white as he is black.
Equal parts.
He's the first mixed president, right?
Yeah.
People don't realize those things because it's so difficult to not be tribal.
Right.
It's so difficult.
Do you think Obama would do swallow it?
No.
Not even.
I don't think. But Michelle might.
Michelle? Do you think she will? Come coach me
Michelle
some
would.
things?
Yeah, Michelle, I feel like would. President Obama.
Should I slide in her DMs?
Yeah, you might. She might respond. You never
Hey,
know.
Michelle girl.
Yeah, she might respond. I actually had a chance to go to the White House. They held a Persian New Year's, which is actually coming up.
Did you jump over a
March 9th.
candle?
No, we jump over fire, so a candle would just because it's the fire. Which
Well,
I'm
I thought
gonna-
when you
I
didn't
can't
have
wait
the
till Tuesday.
fire.
Yeah, you can jump over anything that's like a flame.
That's on
right?
Tuesday?
It's coming up Tuesday, and it's a real thing. Like I love that.
No,
is my
I used to
favorite thing.
live with a Persian.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing to do because I feel like it's magic, and this is how you start off, and this is why Persians in America are successful. But
And also, they're like, Persian men are fucking psychotic, bro.
I mean, I don't know who hurt you.
Psychotic.
I don't know
bro.
who hurt you. You dated one Persian guy.
And enough to never date one ever again.
I think Persian guys are excellent guys. It just depends on who you date. Just like any.
You know
guys.
the Persian I dated?
I do know the Persian you dated.
You're not cool with him, right?
I am familiar with this human being.
But you're not like cool. Like
We're
you won't
not cool.
dap each other in the
It's-
street.
It's the gentleman that owns a couple gyms. Am I
Yes,
correct? Yes.
yeah. Let me ask you. I know that you put your career first, but when you find someone and you're ready to like, I don't know.
And I want to, by the way. I'm not.
So
someone
you're
who's closed
over
off to
being
that.
single.
I've never been on being single. I'm not that person who wants to be perpetually single. I want to find a partner, right? Someone who understands me and understands my life,
Right.
and we can be mutually supportive of one
Right.
another. So that's important. To
So
me.
that's what you're looking for. Basically, someone who understands your lifestyle, someone who's with the shits. Are you looking to date someone who, has a career herself or is like a stay at home?
I would prefer someone that also is ambitious,
Right.
because I'm always about the steel sharpen steel
Right.
mentality. That's
Right.
how I feel. So that's important to me.
I just feel like the stay at homes, it's like,
Not that there's anything wrong with people who stay at home.
no, I don't think there is either, but just at the end of the day, like, wouldn't you want to be able to like tell your partner, like, this is the great day I had, or even if it's like, this is the worst day I had.
Well,
If you
it's-
stay at home, it's like, what's the conversation?
No, because it depends on which stay at home you are. There are a lot of people who are the support cast. I will
What's the
never
support
say
cast mean?
Michelle Obama would have, if President Obama wasn't married to Michelle,
Mm-hmm.
President Obama would have never become President Obama. If Bill Clinton was not married to Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton would never become Bill Clinton, President Clinton. That is the truth.
What do you mean?
So
Because they're like the number
these
one
were-
supporter. Like,
they
you
were
got
the ones
this,
who
babe.
supported. They were out there. They were at home with the kids when they needed to be on the road for weeks at times.
Right.
I mean, let's not downgrade that support system. Means a lot.
Right. I mean, if I could be a stay at home, I would be. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not even talking shit. Like,
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's different. Like that's the comfort, right? I'm not talking about the comfort. I'm talking about the stay at home.
yeah, but you're the number one cheerleader. You know I'm a fucking
Someone
cheerleader.
who pushes.
Yeah.
Pushes and also
Yeah.
does all the administrative and
Like a ride or die.
exactly.
That's
and
exactly what I
important.
am. I'm a stay at home,
I
but
know.
literally my job is at home, so it's like it works.
Yeah, it does.
For any guy wondering, I am a good, girlfriend.
It's not just any guy though. She actually has a list of. She has a list.
Of what?
Okay, requirements. Let's be very
No,
real.
what are my fucking requirements, Teron?
The way a guy looks,
Not really. Some of my motherfucking exes are ugly as shit.
the way they look. Listen, let's not look at the outlier. Let's look at the majority.
Okay.
The way
fine.
they look, their finances,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They have to afford you because you do normal stuff that's like
But I don't need like
wealthy stuff.
Like what though? But I'm not like the chick that's like get me a
go to
Chanel bag.
Catch. You understand?
I'll never go to Catch ever again, and neither will you. Watch my YouTube.
Never again. But at the time, you were used to going to
like
Catch.
Nobu. Let's do Nobu.
Exactly. And I'm like, no, boo. Just not. Like,
but you
no.
want to eventually take someone there, right?
I mean, yes, when I'm at that point where that's where we can go. But especially when girls are like, let's go to Nobu and it's a first date.
But don't you think it's like a fun first date though?
Definitely not.
Like water, like you can hear the waves in the background.
Here's my problem with a lot of ways that a lot of guys date. We lie in the beginning and then we tell the truth towards the end. Right? So, and then you realize who you really are dating, right? So a guy will treat you amazing in the beginning and then like shit at the end. And I'm like, no, I will treat you like shit in the beginning. And then when you've earned it, I will treat you amazing towards the end.
I mean,
I will treat you amazing because you've earned it. I'm not taking you to Nobu on the first date. I will give you the moon on our 10th anniversary.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
But guys will give you the moon on the first date. And then once they hit, next thing you won't even get pebbles on a 5-year.
I feel like sometimes they almost do that so that you remember that amazing date he put you on and like fucked you after and then ghosted you. Like I think it's like a tactic that men do.
It's not a tactic.
What do you mean? How's it not a tactic?
I'll tell you. So girls always talk about how they hate drama. Yet
I don't. I love me some drama.
Yeah, you do.
I do. I thrive off drama.
But girls always say that. You've heard girls, I hate drama. Oh my God.
And I'm like, you're the most dramatic
Exactly.
bitch.
Because who watches soap operas? Girls do.
A couple girls. In there.
No. Girls, for the most part, watch soap
like
operas.
grandmas. My grandma used to watch soap operas
Love
all
soap
the time.
operas, right? Who plays games? Guys, the same guys like, I hate playing games. You love playing games. That's why you
like
watch
what type
it every
of games
Sunday.
are we talking about? Monopoly?
I'm talking about like games where
dating
there's rules
games.
and there's benefits. Exactly.
Yeah.
But even in life, guys spend their Sundays watching these stupid games and sports on TV.
Yeah. And
So,
now what are they doing? Quarantining.
Exactly. If a girl's too easy, it's like a video game. If a girl's too easy, if a video game's too easy, a guy's going to be like, man, this game sucks. And if a game's too hard, they'll never blame themselves. They'll be like, this game sucks. It has to be the right amount of difficult where, yeah, they put in effort. And
see,
then
this right here is a problem. You've already confused me. I feel like this is too much.
It is too much.
I feel like this is a guy thing.
It's not funny. It's not just a guy thing.
I don't play games with dudes. I think maybe that's why I'm single. I'm just like,
yo,
I really like you.
Because you have not found the right person who can appreciate you
as a package
for you.
Yeah.
Because
like they don't want cookies.
You're also difficult.
I am for sure, difficult. But like, okay.
But it's worth it, but you're difficult.
But like they don't want fresh baked cookies with a note that said, I hope you have a good week. That freaks them out. They want a bitch that doesn't call them back for 17 phone calls.
There's a lot of other things that you do.
Like what?
Okay. Hey.
No, don't even. Don't fucking say it. Okay. Don't you dare say it.
Okay.
He's really gonna throw our fucking. Don't forget, people. He knows me on a personal level. He is about to say some shit. I'm like,
so you do crazy things a lot. Okay.
Okay, back to you. Are you currently a slut or no?
I am not, or have I ever been specifically a slut?
How many people have you slept with in 1 week?
In 1 week?
Don't lie.
If I had to be very, very honest, I don't think there's ever been a time in the same week that I've ever slept with more than the person that I was interacting with on that intimate level.
Wow. Okay.
So there's never been a time where, because I was thinking about times where if you stop seeing someone or maybe you're in between seeing someone, but I don't think that's ever just been the situation. I'm a very particular person.
Right. Same.
So I've always thought I was going to make it. So I've always been very careful about things too.
Right.
And even at times when I've been in situations, I like having a girl like you and doing things intimate with them are two different things. I love flirting. I am a flirt. I love flirting.
Do you continue to flirt when you have a girlfriend?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
That's fucked up.
I'm a flirt.
I don't like that shit.
But however, to be very fair, I will act exactly the same way in front of you that I would behind you. And I never take it to the next level. I do believe
that, but
I never take it to the next level.
So if your bitch was next to you, you'd flirt with some cute chick that was like asking you what your name is on your hat?
I don't flirt that way. That's not even my style of flirting. So it's more, instead of flirting, I call it simply practicing charm. like practicing being charming, but it's not specifically like some guys.
Why don't you try to go on The Bachelor? You won't make it far because you're black.
I would never do well on The Bachelor in general.
Why?
First of all, I feel like those guys are usually
serial killers like Dexter.
They're very good looking guys, right?
But you're not ugly.
It's not about being ugly. I just feel like they're very good looking. Like I'm above average. Like if average is a 5, I'm like a 6 or a 7. Some of these, like I live in LA, I know what a 9 looks like.
Give me an example. Who's a 9? And I'll tell you if that's true or false.
Let me think of a strong 9. Boris Kojo is a 9.
I have no idea who that is.
Boris
Next
Kojo
name.
is this light-skinned, tall, black guy who's just built very well. He's dating or he's married to another actress, and he's just very good looking. When you see him in person, you're like, this guy. Idris Elba is an 8.
Yeah, no. Idris Elba's like a 9.
He's like an 8.
He's aging like very well.
He's a good-looking guy. So those are the people. Like I'm not in Kentucky. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. We're in Los Angeles.
Yeah. So you're looking.
Like I consider myself to be like a 7.5, 8.
You in Boston, you were a strong 9.5.
Yeah, like a 9.5.
In LA, when you go to the club, you kind of just blend in.
No, because everyone there is white.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because you go to those clubs.
Yeah, especially if I'm wearing something that shows my like little bit of my thigh tattoo. It's a fucking
that's
wrap.
Different. But
yeah,
I'm talking about when you go to the good clubs, like the fun clubs. You blend in.
What's a good club out here?
Saying if you go to like a Hyde or if you go to a Poppy on a Friday.
But it's all the same bitches, don't you think?
Sometimes. But that's the thing. You blend in with those girls who, by the way, are also all very good looking.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Because those clubs only let good looking people in, which is a problem. Because ugly people deserve to have a fun time too.
Everyone says that.
And who's to say that anyone is ugly by their degree?
Everyone says that until they're the person that gets in, right? So everyone wants, and when they're not let in, they're like, why can't I get in? And then everyone wants to get into the exclusive club. That's the problem. That's why no one goes to the.
But
day.
we only make it exclusive because we make it exclusive.
Sure, we make up these rules. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's all about society. Like what makes this club exclusive? Absolutely fucking nothing.
What makes a person famous? It's literally if everyone else thinks you're famous, then you are. That's how it, for the most part, works. Do I think it's right? I didn't write the rules.
No, it's not right.
So that's why when you're like, oh, The Bachelor, I'm like, I think.
I tried out for The Bachelor. The Bachelor.
What they say no?
Wow, I drove 2 hours when I was broke, like couldn't even afford gas.
I remember this actually.
Yeah, but I was like, I have to go. This is like my calling. I was meant to be on the show.
I remember.
Because I've been trying to be on a dating show forever.
Yes.
Because I actually think I'd be falling in love.
I remember this when you said 2 hours away. I remember because there was a bunch of girls there.
Yeah.
I remember.
So I went. Is like every single person was white.
Yeah, except for one other black girl.
Yeah, and she was dark skinned.
I remember.
Yeah. So we get there. I'm like trying to make friends with the black girl. She's like not talking to me. I'm like, wow, really? No one wants to talk to me. Fill out this application. You wait about like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Then you break off into these groups, and then you have these one-on-one. And I killed the one-on-one because I'm just like, they call me on Bad Girls Club the Green Queen Machine because I can like bang out an 8-hour green screen in 3.5. So I go in and I do what I was put on this planet to do. Killed it. The lady interviewing me was black. She pulled me aside. She goes, you definitely made the second round. You're perfect for this. And I go, hey, is it going to be an issue that like when you Google me, it's my ass beating? She goes, what do you mean? I was on Bad Girls Club. She was like, I fucking knew you looked familiar. They're not going to call you back. Never got called back.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Should have never.
I was
anything.
fucking devastated. They would have known.
You should have just let them figure it out.
Take me all the way to semifinals and then cut me? I'd be more devastated than right at the beginning.
I don't know.
But like that's my thing about Bachelor. Like this new Bachelorette coming out again is white and blonde. We've already seen it.
Sure, but they also have to cater to their ratings.
But it's not just white people watching.
100%. And if we as a community stop watching.
But no one's going to.
But that's the problem.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem is that for a day, we all stopped wearing Gucci, right? But not 2 days.
No, not 3 days.
Exactly.
Damn, nor not 7. Not when the season airs.
So when we give our dollar, everyone's waiting for November to vote. We literally vote every single day, every time we give a dollar to somebody. Mm-hmm. Anytime we give a dollar, we're voting for that. So we can stop watching The Bachelor, create our own Bachelor even, that we watch even more.
Right.
Even when something like the Oscars has all these white actors who win, if we go, hey, you know what? Well, I want a different award, and I want a Marquise. And if
that's my brother's name.
If you win a Marquise, you are the best, and
right.
that's only for only for people of color. Or more importantly, it's not just for people of color, but more people of color happen to win that.
Right.
And we give that importance. Then that is something we can do. We can choose and opt to do that at any time. We don't.
I know.
We
know.
don't.
I know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I was so fucking pissed. I remember driving 2 hours back, having no gas, starving, eating beef jerky because it was the only thing I could afford at the gas station. I was like, I deserve to be on that show, whether I was on Bad Girls Club or not. And I don't give a fuck about making, top 2. Just bring me to top 4 so I can be on Bachelor in Paradise and get that residual paycheck, bitch. Because I would be bringing in those ratings 110%. And they act like white men don't love mixed or black women. They do.
But sometimes, and this is the unfortunate truth, America doesn't.
And that's a fucking problem.
It is. It really is.
So sickening.
It's sad. It's sad. And it's
like you got to go to like Love and Hip Hop to get some type of cultural reality TV because nothing else is acceptable except for the few black women that are on the Real Housewives.
I love you saying cultural reality TV. However, here's my thing. my point is I'm not against I'm not for reverse racism either, which is like I hate white people. I don't dislike any group of people. I dislike individuals.
Period. Like the people that make these bullshit ass rules that we have to be like, well, if you date, like for instance, when I uploaded the Catch video, I remember one of the biggest comments I would get was, well, you date white men and these white men didn't let you in the restaurant. The white men I date have nothing to do with the white men that would not let me into this restaurant. It's two completely different things. So stop putting, if I date white men doesn't mean I don't love you because you're black. Do you guys hear yourselves? It's ridiculous. Anyways, we're getting a little deep here, so let's go to some more fun stuff, shall we? Condom sex or no condom sex? Per a fan.
Condom sex or no condom sex depends on my partner. However, if it's going to be an initial before testing, condom sex.
You get testing then? Most guys don't.
I have. You want to know craziness? I actually get all my medical records and I have them on my phone.
You have the portal. He has the portal.
I have it on my phone. Not because of sex, but because I
don't trust
have
nobody.
I have it on my phone because it comes directly. Thankfully, I have insurance and it comes directly and I have results. And I get tested regardless of my sexual activity.
Same.
I get tested because it's part of my insurance.
And not only that,
I make sure to get tested.
And there's shit going on in your, like for women, when you get your vagina checked, you can check for cancer, you can check for ovarian cancer. So that's why I'm like, if you can go to Planned Parenthood for free, why aren't you getting it?
No, that's a whole 100% an issue. A lot of guys wait. Either you know how they
until
get tested?
They fucking are pissing out of their dick.
Exactly. Well, we do usually piss out of our dick, but
wait, on a regular basis?
Piss out of our penis?
Yeah.
That's how you pee as a guy.
Oh yeah.
I think you mean burn.
Bleed.
Yeah, bleed.
I meant bleed.
Yeah, I understand. We don't bleed.
Wow, I was so confused.
Yeah, but we do piss out of our
penis.
Yeah,
you do. Yeah. I was like, what do you mean you do that?
Yeah. A lot of guys get tested by the girl catching something and then realizing they have something.
And most girls won't even admit that to the motherfucker. They'll flip it. Like I've literally witnessed girls flip the shit. Like they'll leave the clinic, find out they got some STD, and then hit up the dude like, I just left and you gave me this and I can't believe you did. What bitch are you fucking? And totally flipped the shit. And the dude actually is like, yo, I have an STD. Mind you, he's not being truthful or faithful. So he in the back of his head is like, what bitch did I cheat on this bitch with where I gave her an STD? Meanwhile, she really had the STD and she gave it to you. And now you got to go get pills and it's so fucked up.
But I'm just very particular about my sexual partners in general.
Same.
So I'm very picky on who I choose.
Would you ever sleep with someone who is married?
I would.
It's on my bucket list of things to do.
I would say that
I'm going to get roasted for that.
100%. I would say I would not want to. However, circumstances are different.
Like, what do you mean by circumstances?
So, for example, let's say someone's married, but they're breaking up. And mandatory by court, you have to be separated for a year before you can get a divorce, right?
Right.
Well, does that count as married? Technically, they're married, and sometimes it's a back and forth. However, you don't know. I cannot choose my heart. I would probably prefer not to sleep with someone that's married, simply because I respect the sanctity of marriage. However,
would you get married?
I would. I don't know if I believe in marriage, so to speak. However, I would have a partner that's a lifelong partner. I just don't believe in the concept of, so where do people get married? Do you know, like, where people get married?
I guess churches, maybe beaches.
No. People get married in a courthouse. You go to a courthouse, you get married, a judge signs a paper.
And then you just have like this ceremony and this
Everyone's
party.
ceremony is at a church or at a beach. But the marriage itself is a government. Basically you're a corporation. That's why you get tax breaks. So I don't know if I believe in the government sanctioning of a partnership specifically, but that's because I have these crazy highbrow ideas.
I always say I want the ring and I want the party, but I don't actually want the marriage. Because I feel like when you're with someone for a certain amount of time,
out on the tax breaks. But the concept
I don't care about that though.
Yeah, because you're the one staying at home. He's the one working, remember?
Facts.
So
I hope we work together. Like I'm going to be doing YouTube till I'm 152. So I'm always going to be working if he lets me, like in between breastfeeds if we have any children. Do you want children?
I would like to have children. In a perfect world, I have like a specific plan.
And what's that plan?
In a perfect world, this is my fantasy world, right?
Okay.
In my fantasy world, I have like $1 billion, and because I have $1 billion,
okay, but that's come on.
That's why I said fantasy world.
Right.
I said a fantasy world. So I have $1 billion or more, and I have children with 4 different women. 4 different.
So you believe in polygamy then?
No. I'm not in a partnership with these women.
You just give them babies.
I literally have children with 4 women who I find aptly like just amazing women because I want to see how each child reacts differently to like different being raised. Like, because it's so interesting to me, nature versus nurture. This isn't a perfect world where I can afford this.
So you want to have offspring with a really hot ass, badass bitches, whether it's their personality or their looks. They're brilliant.
They're personable. Yeah. They're
and you want to see if your kids come out just as great.
I want amazing children, yeah. And I want to give them the best chance. Like, okay,
this one's smart. This one's good looking. This one's we got a feel. This one is not good looking, but he can play some damn soccer.
Exactly, Exactly. I want everything in a perfect world. But realistically, I would love to have a partner and have children. Of course, that would be.
When do you think that's gonna happen?
I don't.
Are your parents like fucking pissed at you right now?
My parents are actually very supportive parents.
Supportive, yeah. Mine are supportive too. But my dad he texted me the other day and goes, because my car is in the shop, and they wanted like it was like $629 for a rental up front, and I said, I barely leave my house. I'm not paying that.
What did you rent?
No, it was it was like a minivan.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna Uber. So I text my dad. I go, hey, how did I not have rental on my insurance policy? I don't. Rental is this month. I'm just going to Uber.
How long is your car in the shop?
It's been there for a week.
So
and after this shit,
average rent should be like $30 a day.
I know. It's ridiculous. So I was like, I texted dad. I was like, hey, listen, I'm not going to do the rental. I'm just going to Uber it, maybe stay home. Then it just happened to be the quarantine at the time. So I was like, I don't really even need my car. Yeah. And my dad texted me and his response was, you know what would be great in times like this? And I said, rental insurance? He said, a boyfriend. So he could pick you up and drop you off everywhere you needed to go.
But that's because
he's supportive, but he's like,
no, he's
where
a
is it
father
at?
Who wants someone to be there for his daughter.
Yeah.
Someone to protect her.
Like when I get a flat tire.
Exactly. Something where we traditionally feel like a man should do, and it's because chivalry should not be dead. And
but it is.
I can understand that. It's not dead. It's just not. It's on life.
Standby
support.
At the airport. Anyways, guys, this is a wrap up. I already said my shit.
Yo.
This is swallow it, open wide, take it all in. Suck a dick, suck a tit. I don't know.
Yo.
Do anything but like worry about hand sanitizer and fucking gloves because it's just like
wash
we're
your
over
hands,
it.
Be safe. No,
yeah. Wash your dick and wash your vagina.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
That's it. Okay. Goodbye. Have a good night. Good evening. Tutu. Ta-ta. Bye-bye.